The most prominent performers in Hollywood frequently steal the show thanks to their talent and glitz, enthralling viewers. But from the start, some of these icons have had to overcome incredible obstacles behind the red carpet and big-budget assignments. Their stories, ranging from concealed birth deformities to enduring hardships, are remarkable and inspirational. How did these celebrities succeed despite all the obstacles in their way? What's behind those glittering exteriors? Come along as we reveal the little-known tales of 30 Hollywood icons who overcame their weaknesses to demonstrate that even the most prominent stars have struggled outside the movie theater. Prepare to see Hollywood in a completely different way. Peter Dinklage. Starring in Game of Thrones as Tyrion Lannister, Peter Dinklage was born with achondroplasia, a kind of dwarfism. At 4'5", Dinklage has emerged as a representational icon in Hollywood, dispelling myths and promoting diversity in the entertainment sector. Even though he experienced discrimination early in his career, he turned down parts that made fun of his disability in favor of roles that focused on significant characters. He became one of the most renowned performers of his generation thanks to his several Emmy Awards for his portrayal of Tyrion. In addition to being an actor, Dinklage is a strong supporter of disability rights who uses his position to demand greater diversity and representation. His experience is proof of the strength of fortitude and self-belief. Joaquin Phoenix. The Oscar-winning actor Joaquin Phoenix was born with a cleft lip and palate and is well known for his powerful performances. He had surgery when he was a baby, but the scar is still there and contributes to his unique appearance. Phoenix hasn't talked much about his illness, but his Hollywood success shows his determination. He's given some of the most iconic performances in movie history, from Gladiator to The Joker. He has a devoted following and received praise from critics for his ability to develop into nuanced personalities. Phoenix's journey serves as a reminder that physical distinctions do not define one's talent or potential. His narrative motivates numerous people with comparable difficulties to accept their individuality and follow their aspirations. Harry Styles. One Direction star, Harry Styles, has a startlingly hidden disability: partial hearing loss. Styles disclosed that a childhood ailment caused him to lose a considerable amount of his hearing in one ear. Despite this, he has emerged as one of his generation's most prosperous musicians and performers. His adaptability and success in music and movies prove his tenacity. In addition to increasing awareness of the disease, Styles' candor about his hearing loss has inspired fans to get support and assistance. Nothing can stop Styles from captivating audiences worldwide, whether playing on stage or appearing in films like Dunkirk. Gaten Matarazzo. Born with cleocranial dysplasia, a rare genetic disorder that affects bone formation, Gaten Matarazzo became well known for his role as Dustin Henderson in Stranger Things. His teeth and collarbone have been affected by the illness, necessitating numerous surgeries throughout his life. Matarazzo has been candid about his experience and has used his position to spread disease awareness. In Stranger Things, he even used his personal experience to create Dustin, who also has cleidocranial dysplasia. Matarazzo is a role model for many because of his campaigning, which has raised awareness of the difficulties experienced by those with uncommon conditions. His optimistic outlook and unwavering drive for achievement are incredibly motivating. Daryl Hannah. The captivating Splash and Kill Bill star, Daryl Hannah, felt different from her friends growing up. She suffered from severe shyness and sensory sensitivity after being diagnosed with autism as a toddler. For Hannah, acting became an escape from the terrifying limelight of Hollywood, along with flashing cameras and heavy social obligations. She proved executives incorrect by establishing a career characterized by daring, memorable performances, despite her frequent dismissal of her as too odd for the business. She concealed her condition for years out of concern that it would restrict her options. But as discussions on neurodiversity progressed, she gained the confidence to tell her tale. Hannah now promotes autism awareness and encourages others to value rather than conceal their differences. Her capacity to transform personal adversity into a strength is a reminder that genius flourishes in those who dare to be authentic and aren't limited by social conventions. Michael Berryman. Michael Berryman is not your typical Hollywood starring man because of his unique looks, sunken eyes, and bald head. However, that's precisely what made him famous. Berryman was bullied mercilessly as a child because he was born with hypohidrotic ectodermal dysplasia, a rare disorder that stops the development of hair, teeth, and sweat glands. Medical professionals cautioned him that he might never live a typical life, much less pursue a career in entertainment. However, Berryman refused to let constraints define him. Filmmakers were drawn to his unusual appearance, and he quickly rose to fame as a horror movie star, frightening viewers in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest and The Hills Have Eyes. He demonstrated that Hollywood's beauty ideals do not determine success by embracing his differences rather than trying to hide them. He freely discusses self-acceptance these days and exhorts others to take pleasure in their unique qualities. His story is a sobering yet touching lesson that brilliance frequently arises from the unexpected. Catherine O'Hara. Many people are unaware that Catherine O'Hara had battled strabismus. This eye disorder causes misalignment, despite her famed ability to steal the show with her expressive face and witty comedic timing. O'Hara had corrective surgery as a child, but her unique look persisted. Rather than avoiding it, she capitalized on it, adding a depth of intrigue and surprise to her characters. Her distinctive facial expressions have been crucial to her comedy, whether she was playing the eccentric Delia Dietz in Beetlejuice or the wonderfully theatrical Moira Rose in Schitt's Creek. Unlike many actresses who strive for perfection, O'Hara never allowed Hollywood's fixation with symmetry to define her career. She reminds us that performers who defy expectations are more memorable than those who conform. She's now respected and revered, demonstrating that skill always triumphs over looks. Jessica Alba. Jessica Alba was anything but indestructible as a child, despite her current air of power and assurance. She suffered from several severe illnesses as a child, such as persistent asthma, recurring pneumonia, and even a collapsed lung. She started going to the hospital regularly, which made her feel different from other children. Nevertheless, despite her weakened condition, she formed an unwavering resolve to enjoy life. She persevered through physically taxing roles in Dark Angel and Fantastic Four, demonstrating this toughness throughout her acting career. Her health issues, however, may have inspired her to launch The Honest Company, a billion-dollar company devoted to offering eco-friendly, non-toxic products. Alba's story demonstrates that adversity need not be a hindrance, it can occasionally be the catalyst for achievement. Tina Fey. Although Tina Fey's career has been based on her razor-sharp wit, her tale of perseverance is hidden behind her humor. She suffered a little scar on the left side of her face after being attacked by an unknown individual in her front yard when she was just 5 years old. Fey was traumatized by the event, but she never let it define her. Instead, she used comedy as a coping strategy and a vocation, swiftly rising to prominence as one of the entertainment industry's most significant voices. Fey has always addressed her scars with her trademark comedy, unlike other actresses who may attempt to hide them. She jokingly said, "I have an outstanding makeup artist," in response to a question about it. Her capacity to find humor in life's flaws has made her even more approachable. Through 30 Rock, Mean Girls, and Saturday Night Live, she's demonstrated that ability and confidence are more important than physical characteristics. Fey's experience proves that our emotional and physical wounds define who we are rather than weaken us. Sylvester Stallone. Although Sylvester Stallone is one of the most known faces in Hollywood, his sagging expression and slurred speech aren't merely characteristics of his tough guy reputation. They resulted from a congenital defect that immobilized a portion of his face. Doctors had to use forceps because of a challenging birth, which unintentionally severed a nerve and damaged the muscle permanently. He had a peculiar expression and found it difficult to talk, which casting directors initially perceived as a weakness. He was repeatedly turned down and told he would never succeed in the field. However, Stallone would not concede a loss. He refused to sell Rocky, a story he penned that reflected his struggles, unless he played the lead. The rest is history. Rocky's career as one of the most incredible action stars ever began when he became a cultural sensation. Stallone's path demonstrates how your most significant strength might be what others perceive as a weakness. Megan Fox. Despite her famed beauty, few people know that Megan Fox has brachydactyly type D, commonly called clubbed thumbs. Because the distal phalanx bone is shorter in this genetic trait, the thumbs appear broader and shorter than usual. Fox has said that she feels self-conscious about it, especially in close-up photos, even though it has no bearing on her acting or modeling career. Interestingly, she might have inherited this feature because it runs in families. Megan Fox has never allowed the slight physical difference to define her. With roles in popular films like Transformers and Jennifer's Body, she's established a prosperous career. Her talent and confidence overshadow doubts, demonstrating that beauty is more than perfection. Her unusual thumbs startled many fans, but in the end, it's only a tiny aspect of what makes her one of Hollywood's most well-known celebrities. Gemma Arterton. Gemma Arterton, the British actress who starred in Prince of Persia and Clash of the Titans, was born with extra fingers, an uncommon disease known as polydactyly. She was born with an additional finger on each hand, which was later amputated in a straightforward procedure. Although it's frequently treated early in life, this disorder is more prevalent than most people realize. Interestingly, Arterton has accepted that she was born a little differently by using comedy to discuss her exceptional birth condition. She's never allowed it to limit her, even though some may see it as a flaw. Instead, she's established herself in Hollywood using her charm and talent. Her tale serves as a reminder that even the most well-known people can have unspoken characteristics that make them genuinely unique. Jono Lancaster. Despite not being a well-known Hollywood celebrity, Jono Lancaster is a role model in the entertainment sector. Growing up was extremely difficult for Jono because she was born with Treacher's-Collins syndrome, a rare genetic condition that affects the development of facial bones. He had a distinctive facial look, hearing problems, and underdeveloped cheekbones as a result of his disease. Jono has accepted his appearance and refused to let it define him, even though many people with the disease have many procedures. Even though his parents left him when he was a newborn, he became a motivational speaker and supporter of others with facial differences. Millions have been impacted by his narrative, which demonstrates that character and confidence are more important components of beauty than appearance. Through his work in the media, including interviews and films, he's established himself as a voice for people who feel different. True strength comes from inside, as demonstrated by Jono's path, and Hollywood needs more role models like him. Dan Aykroyd. The renowned comedian and actor Dan Aykroyd, who starred in Ghostbusters and the Blues Brothers, suffers from two unexpected illnesses, a neurological one and a physical one. Syndactyly, a disorder in which two or more toes are fused, was present in Aykroyd from birth. Despite its odd tone, it is relatively frequent and has little effect on movement. Even more intriguing, though, is the fact that Aykroyd has publicly acknowledged receiving a diagnosis of Asperger's syndrome, a type of autism. He claims that his illness contributed to his creative genius and laser-like focus, which helped him develop the concept of Ghostbusters. He was a comic powerhouse because of his ability to hyper-focus on subjects and his distinct thinking style. Aykroyd accepted these characteristics rather than viewing them as drawbacks, transforming them into assets that contributed to his success. His tale demonstrates that even in Hollywood, where perfection is frequently demanded, being unique can be a strength. Ashton Kutcher. Many fans are unaware that Ashton Kutcher, who starred in Jobs and That 70s Show, has a peculiar birth defect. He was born with webbed toes. Some of his toes are partially fused due to a condition known as syndactyly. In interviews, Kutcher has made fun of it and even demonstrated it by putting his feet on camera. It's a minor element that distinguishes him, even though it has no bearing on his mobility. Interestingly, Kutcher has publicly discussed accepting flaws, consistent with his support of individualism and self-assurance. He's always been more than a handsome face, making waves in the tech industry with his business sense and intelligence. His success in Silicon Valley and Hollywood demonstrates that a person's talent and drive characterize them, not slight physical discrepancies. Elizabeth Taylor. Few people know that Elizabeth Taylor suffered from dystochiasis, a rare genetic condition resulting in double rows of eyelashes. despite her famous violet eyes. This could seem like a dream come true for beauty enthusiasts, but occasionally it can irritate and discomfort people. But for Taylor, it just accentuated her stunning beauty, making her one of Hollywood's most appealing actors. Her disease, which was brought on by a mutation in the FOXC2 gene, gave her a naturally theatrical appearance, as though she were wearing mascara and eyeliner all the time. Her exceptional quality and talent made her stand out in classic movies like Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf and Cleopatra. Taylor became a celebrity by embracing her unique beauty, demonstrating that genetic abnormalities can occasionally be advantageous. Forest Whitaker. The Oscar-winning actor Forest Whitaker, who starred in Rogue One and The Last King of Scotland, has a unique appearance because of a condition called ptosis that causes his left eyelid to droop. He has a distinctive, recognized expression because of a muscular abnormality he was born with. Whitaker embraced his surgery, making it a unique feature of his image, although other actors would have thought about it. Interestingly, Whitaker has never allowed ptosis to interfere with his performances, even though it can occasionally create visual issues. He's regarded as one of Hollywood's most prestigious talents due to his powerful presence and intense emotive acting technique. His success demonstrates that becoming a star doesn't require perfection, it just requires skill, confidence, and the capacity to enthrall an audience. Seal. Seal, the Kiss from a Rose singer who won a Grammy, has a unique appearance because of the extensive scars on his face. The scars are caused by discoid lupus erythematosus, or DLE, a rare chronic autoimmune disease that damages the skin. However, many people believe they're the result of an accident. When Seal was diagnosed as a teenager, his face was permanently marked by the illness. He became one of the most well-known musicians in the world by embracing his distinctive appearance rather than trying to hide it. He's become a music industry celebrity thanks to his self-assurance and strong voice, demonstrating that being beautiful is about accepting who you are rather than striving for perfection. The lesson from Seal's journey is that our uniqueness sometimes makes us memorable. Kesha. The pop sensation Kesha, known for songs like Die Young and TikTok, was born with a rare and unexpected birth defect, a vestigial tail. This indicates that she was born with an additional segment of her spine that stretched past her lower back. Kesha publicly talked about having it removed when she was young, even making jokes about being born with a tail like a little lizard. While some might feel ashamed of such a condition, Kesha celebrates her peculiarities and individuality. Being unashamedly herself has been the foundation of her profession, encouraging individualism and self-acceptance. Her openness about her flaws has inspired admirers worldwide, demonstrating that self-assurance is far more appealing than perfection. Carolina Kurkova. One of the most enigmatic birth abnormalities is that Carolina Kurkova, the former Victoria's Secret supermodel, lacks a visible belly button. She never had a full belly button because of a surgery she had as a newborn. Some astute fans have seen it in her modeling shots, but most haven't. She's now one of the most successful supermodels in the world, walking the largest runways and appearing on the covers of major magazines despite this. Kurkova has never allowed this minor distinction to undermine her self-esteem, demonstrating that beauty is about embracing individuality rather than fitting in with society's expectations. Her experience serves as a warning that even the most well-known models in the world have unanticipated flaws. Oprah Winfrey. One of the most powerful women in media, Oprah Winfrey was born with an extra toe on one foot. Even though it was taken off when she was little, it's a minor but intriguing aspect of her early years. Her birth deformity is only one of many challenges that Oprah surmounted on her extraordinary journey from poverty to media mogul and millionaire. She's consistently advocated for self-acceptance and urged people to value their uniqueness and imperfections. Oprah has become a worldwide celebrity due to her ability to connect with people and her inspirational tale. Her concealed birth deformity serves as yet another reminder that while nobody is flawless from birth, you can succeed if you have perseverance and faith in yourself. Andy Garcia. One of Hollywood's most incredible birth tales is that of Andy Garcia, the star of The Godfather Part 3 and Ocean's 11. A conjoined twin was affixed to his shoulder at birth. Shortly after delivery, the undeveloped twin, which was roughly the size of a tennis ball, was medically removed. Garcia has never hesitated to talk about this sporadic disease. He sees it as a unique aspect of his tale, a reminder of the wonder and occasionally enigma of human growth. Garcia overcame this peculiar beginning to become one of Hollywood's most admired actors, renowned for his powerful performances and elegant manner. His experience demonstrates that a person's physical characteristics at birth contribute to their tale and do not define their potential. Denzel Washington. Many fans have observed the unique hand feature of Denzel Washington, one of the most renowned actors ever. A long-standing sports injury has left his pinky finger permanently twisted at a 45-degree angle. His finger was permanently twisted because the break never healed properly. Despite not being a congenital deformity, the physical imperfection has contributed to his distinctive appearance. Washington frequently jokes about it in interviews and has never allowed it to undermine his confidence. His Oscar-winning career, including roles in movies like Malcolm X and Training Day, proves that minor flaws don't matter when charisma and talent are paramount. Billy Corgan. The Smashing Pumpkins frontman Billy Corgan was born with Klippel-Trenaunay syndrome, a rare vascular condition. One leg may be longer or more significant than the other due to anomalies in the blood vessels, soft tissues, and bones caused by this illness. Corgan has talked about the suffering and difficulties it's brought him throughout his life, even if it didn't stop him from becoming a rock legend. He overcame these obstacles to establish a career based on his unadulterated musical ability and distinctive sound. Fans worldwide look up to him because of his tenacity and refusal to allow his illness to limit him. Padma Lakshmi. The Top Chef host and model Padma Lakshmi has a lengthy, prominent scar on her arm that serves as a memory of a horrific occurrence that happened to her as a youngster. Lakshmi had a severe scar down her right arm after being in a vehicular accident when she was 14 years old. It became a distinguishing characteristic of her appearance despite not being a congenital deformity. She initially battled insecurity, but she eventually came to accept it. Since then, Lakshmi has embraced body positivity, demonstrating that scars add character rather than detract from attractiveness. She is an example of how self-acceptance leads to genuine confidence. Sarah Hyland. The lively and humorous actress who played Haley Dunphy on Modern Family, Sarah Hyland, has had more difficulties in real life than most people know. Numerous medical issues characterized Hyland's childhood because she was born with renal dysplasia, a disorder in which the kidneys do not mature normally. Her father donated his kidney to save her life, and she got a kidney transplant by the time she was 21. She had to get another kidney transplant, this time from her younger brother, after her body tragically rejected the first one. Hyland never allowed her chronic pain and exhaustion to stop her from moving on. She promoted body positivity and health awareness while receiving treatment and performing. She has openly discussed her challenges with mental health as a result of her illness in interviews, which has inspired many people going through similar struggles. She's a role model because of her transparency and tenacity, demonstrating that real strength is always getting back up after falling. Mila Kunis. Mila Kunis's expressive eyes have enthralled audiences for years, but one of them wasn't working at all. Chronic iritis, a disorder that produces extreme inflammation, was the reason she was secretly blind in one eye. She was able to work in Hollywood for years without disclosing her disability as the illness progressed gradually. Imagine being able to execute physically demanding, intense scenes from films like Jupiter Ascending and Black Swan without having complete vision. Kunis achieved just that. Her sight was eventually restored after surgery to rectify the issue. She then joked about it, stating, "I was blind," in a rare moment of candor. "I simply kept it a secret." Her experience demonstrates her professionalism and tenacity. Kunis's perseverance in facing this major setback exemplifies the tenacity that characterizes the finest in Hollywood. Her tale serves as a reminder that some celebrities overcome invisible obstacles and yet look amazing on film. Taye Diggs. Known for his effortless charm in films like Rent and The Best Man, Taye Diggs came into the world with a surprise, an extra finger on each hand. Polydactyly is a somewhat uncommon ailment typically repaired at birth, as it was for Diggs. Diggs doesn't feel self-conscious about it. Instead, he finds amusement in his unusual birth. In interviews, he revealed that his mother had saved pictures of his hands before the procedure as a playful memento of his special origins. The extra digital tail further enhances his larger-than-life presence, which sets him apart from his on-screen persona. Polydactyly is also considered a lucky charm in many cultures, and if Diggs' prosperous career is any indication, it may have some merit. His story demonstrates that the key to success is frequently accepting your uniqueness. Christian Bale. Thanks to his deep, piercing gaze, Christian Bale has portrayed some of Hollywood's most iconic characters. However, many people are unaware that his eyes are even more distinctive than they seem. One of his pupils is permanently more significant than the other due to a disease known as anisocoria. Whether he's portraying Dick Cheney, Batman, or Patrick Bateman, this tiny yet noticeable variation adds intensity to his stare. Bale has embraced his unique appearance, using it to improve his performances, in contrast to other actors who might try to hide it. According to fans, his creepy, unnerving presence in some of his darker parts results from this uncommon characteristic. It serves as a reminder that an actor's greatest strength can occasionally be found in the most minor aspects. His eyes alone can convey a story, and Bale's eyes accomplish just that. Shailene Woodley. Few are aware of Shailene Woodley's peculiar birth defect, an additional bone in her foot, despite a reputation for being free-spirited and committed to natural living. Known as an additional navicular bone, this ailment is uncommon and occasionally unpleasant. According to Woodley, it can cause discomfort in some types of footwear and impair her balance. She hasn't let it stop her despite this. She accepts her body for what it is, whether performing her stunts in Divergent or strolling barefoot on the red carpet, for which she is renowned. This little-known detail about Woodley only reinforces her message of self-acceptance, which she's always advocated for, loving one's true self. As an actress who's made her career out of sticking out rather than blending in, she once remarked that it makes her extra special. If you've watched the video till here, that means you've enjoyed the video. Subscribe. Don't forget to turn on the notifications bell icon